Hello, 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 my little goblins. We are here with one of the spiciest decks. And guess what? We're playing against Virtual World. Yeah, I know you guys don't like these big boys. But guess what? We're bigger boys. We got Darkest Diablo. You see that shit? That's a structure deck card. It's also a really cool and fun card. So he's going to be doing some Virtual World shit. He had nothing for Maxi, so he's just going to play through it, which is respectable. We're going to stop that search with the Ash we just drew. This guy, he's just going to go into True King. I mean, it is what it is. You know? Sometimes you got them, sometimes you don't. Just gonna draw 3 cards. The good thing is our hand's pretty stacked. That was a pretty lucky top deck from the 2 draws. He was able to get Desires into that. And then he goes into Shen Shen. Then here's the overlay. True King of all calamities. Now, our opponent makes one blunder, but it's not 100% their fault because, honestly, I've never seen someone call fire before, but he should have called dark. But now, this is a cool interaction with Lair of Darkness. Lair of Darkness actually overrides the calamity since it comes down the field second. So now we're able to use Lair of Darkness to sack it for our Lilith. And now our opponent is, how we say, bona fide screwed. So he's like, I'm going to bring back my Shen Shen. Shen Shen's so cool. I'm honor. I'm honor. And I'm like, epidemic. I'm giving you coronavirus. Goodbye. Couldn't handle the Rona. Now, what would we do in game 2 without playing some doobly-doos? I don't know. It didn't make any sense, but our only plan we have is Lair of Darkness face down card. How much of a Chad are we, by the way? So he's going to Numeron Wall. He goes for Numeron Network. So me not playing my monster I think was the right choice. You Maxi, he Ash Blossoms because this man smells. He's probably trying to smell Ash Blossom's feet. And that, to me, is a little disturbing. So we're going to have to put a stop to it. Here comes the numbers. So I want to point out, this opponent BMs the hell out of me. Because you're going to see, he has limited removal on hand. If he just played that, he would have won the game right there. But he didn't, so now I blow his back out with the Coronavirus. Now we're going to Lord of Heavenly Prison. He's going to get one single measly draw from his Maxi. My Heavenly Prison comes out. He's not going to be able to break through that. I set Solemn Judgment. He draws Called by the Grave. He gets destroyed by Rona. Goodbye. Thanks for playing. Hello, everyone. I'm going to sing you a little song. Despacito, alalito, palalalalalalalalito. Because we're playing against Despia. If that wasn't obvious. He branded openings the standby phase like an absolute lunatic. And then he gets theater. And then he's gonna make a contribution towards the Fat Sword Society. So it was very much appreciated. And we activate Epidemic Virus to it. And we're just going to destroy every spell card he's got. So we got rid of his theater. I think it's hilarious. And for anyone saying, oh, that doesn't happen every game. It happens a lot of games. If you watched me on Thursday, I streamed for 4.5 hours. It happened a lot. It comes up a lot more than you think. And it's hilarious when it does. Because the opponent never suspects it. So now we get the Wicked. Because you gotta remember, this is a best of one format. So, like, you just have to trick the opponent once. You know? So I used Ice Dragon's Prism just to have a 4,000 attacker on the board. But just remember, look at that. Boom. Goodbye. Opponent gives up. They can't handle us. They can't handle the smoke. So on stream, we actually got reset. So we went from Plat 1 to Gold 5. And I played against a Blue Eyes deck. So I wanted to include Seto Kaiba in this. Just because this match I thought was pretty funny. So he's playing Bingo. Honestly, when he threw me 3 Blue Eyes, I was a little disturbed. Because I was like, why didn't he just get Alternative Dragon? But then he's just using it for trade-in, So, I sack the Lady of Lamont just to bring it back with back to front, so I can get Epidemic Virus. And I'm also going to be special summoning Darkest Diablo on his turn. We give him a token. That's alright. We activate Darkest Diablo's effect. He has to put a card. We sack. He has Nibiru. I don't understand why he didn't put Nibiru back. I thought that was strange. Like, what was the other card for him to keep Nibiru against my deck? Nibiru is so bad against me. Alrighty, we activate Lady of Lamont just because we have a token. I'd rather activate our effect again here just to get out the Epidemic Virus, and you're gonna see why. He called by the graves my card. It was expected he was gonna call by the grave it though, because we're already getting rid of every trap card this person owns, right? And now we're going to get rid of every spell card they own. He thins out his deck by just saying Maxi. He's just thinning the deck out, which is a fine play. But look at this. Our opponent literally just has monsters now. And I don't know about you if you ever played Blue Eyes. That ain't too good. One of my favorite things too is when they draw a spell or trap, it just wastes their draw for the turn, which is hilarious. Well, then we pop those last 2 cards. That was turn 1. Now here I should have activated the back to the front on his end step, but it's actually fine. We're gonna sack. We get our Lord. And here, I was actually looking for a trap just for the Lord. But I ended up finding Malice, which is actually a pretty good card because I could sack both these cards, get another Dogmatic Punishment, and now I can protect it. And like I said, it's a slow clock. We're not OTKing anyone. It's just life. He drew a spell. He's just left with Nibiru. That's all he has. It's his only friend now. He has one more turn of enduring this, but he's not going to live it. Since we're Chads, we sacrifice both of them to play Lord of the Heavenly Prison. And we slam it in. We slam it in, and we don't really care how our fast kid feels about it. And like I said, I know it's Blue Eyes, but I thought it was funny. You gotta subscribe to Fat Sword. You also have to watch the streams on Twitch, or he won't feed me. That's why I dance. Alright, guys, we're vibing with this last game. Playing against Poncho. Poncho 36. I'm assuming he owns 36 Ponchos, which is quite amazing. Quite incredible, if I might say so myself. We grab Lord of Heavenly Prison. We activate Lair of Darkness. I really wish Lord would protect. Hero is confused, but he's playing Altergeist. Which is actually relatively annoying. Because at end step, he bounces my lady. And I'm just like, ugh. Man, that didn't feel good. Did not feel good whatsoever. So he attacks me. He sends my Lair to the graveyard. Honestly, all this was kind of fine. Because I still think I'll be fine in this situation. Activate Lord again. Activate the Wicked Warden. We get our Lair back. Now I can deal with this board. Look at this. We're just dismantling them. Ugh. Lilith, dude. Lilith just teaches our opponent that we don't stop until they're in the ground. This is what happens when you're a goblin and you're fighting a rat. You're obviously going to beat the rat. We sack the Marionetta immediately because we're alphas. We're on that Sigma grind set. We're showing them that we're made of business. We made the business. He gets protocol. Honestly, all this is well and fine. Activate. I'm gonna sack his cards. Look at the top. Bada bing, bada, but back to the front. Activate. Darkest Diablos coming out. I actually think, yeah, we just let this go by because, like, I'd rather use it on a search card than him just getting a random draw. He activates Torrential Tribute. I activate Epidemic Virus. Tell me how Altergeist plays the game without trap cards. I want to know. Do they play the game without trap cards? I don't think they do. Plays Multi-Faker. Now we Ash the Multi-Faker. So he can't keep bouncing. And we Ice Dragon Prison him. We're just locking our opponent out of the game. He quits. Lord of Heavenly Prison was going to come out. Get a search. He was absolutely boned. And that's how you play the deck. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about this real quick. This is a Lair of Darkness deck. We take advantage of our opponent's monsters by tributing them to various destructive little goblins, such as Lilith, Lady of Lamont, Malice, Lady of Lamont, really not her though, Arma, the Wicked Warden, sometimes him, and my favorite, Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, aka the Rona. And Darkest Diablos too, but Diablos is... Think of Diablos as a way of just choking our opponent out by having constant pressure, constant ways to bring it back, and a way to activate Virus without having to rely on Lair. Why do I love this deck? I love this deck because it is a back row deck that doesn't feel like the typical back row deck like Eldritch or True Draco. It's a lot of like, it feels like you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh. It feels like you are playing the game that it was meant to be played. It feels like you're 10 years old again, playing on the concrete playground, slamming the cards down, saying, "I destroy your card, you destroy my card." Oh yeah. That's what it feels like, and that's what I like about the deck. Now, Lord of Heavenly Prison, this card is like insane in the deck. Because what this card does is on my main phase, I reveal it, and my opponent cannot destroy my back row as long as they're set, as long as they're face down. And if I activate any of my set cards, right, I can special summon this card to the field. And if I do so, think about this. If I do so, I get to get any spell or trap out of my deck and set it onto the field. That includes our one-of Card of Demise. It includes our one-of Solemn Judgment. It includes our Lair of Darkness if you have an issue with it. It also includes Epidemic Virus. So It's like a one-card epidemic virus. It lets us do it much easier. The deck is really fun. This is what we would call a control deck. If you ever played Hearthstone, or if you ever played Magic the Gathering, topic of a control deck is very real. It doesn't really happen that much in Yu-Gi-Oh! This is what you would call, because it's a very slow, grindy matchup, and you choke out your opponent's resources, especially with the epidemic viruses. As you've seen in one game, I had literally 2 of them up, and they were shut out from spells and traps from their deck, and all they had to have is their clunky monsters. So it's a really fun deck, and it's surprisingly strong. Now, there's one card we're missing from the deck, and that card does not come until later expansions. I think when they introduce certain packs in the future, it might come in that, and that is Alice, Lady of Lamont. So that card will be like almost having a second Lilith, and when you have, trust me, Lilith feels really good because it's a quick effect. It's really annoying for your opponent to deal with. So think of Alice as like another Lilith. So the deck's going to just get better. Extra deck, every single card here, put whatever you want in it. It doesn't matter. The only card I say you need is Elder Entity. And you need that for Dogmatic Punishment because it makes your Dogmatic Punishments a 2-for-1. But you do not use the extra deck at all. Like, it just, your cards are worth too much. There's no point. You can even argue, oh, maybe you want to go Nightmare Unicorn. Your cards are worth way more than a Nightmare Unicorn. I'd rather have Lady of Lamont than go into Nightmare Unicorn. There might be like a fringe case where you might want to do that, but like, I don't see the point in it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the matches. And if you guys have any more questions, please ask below. And next time, join me Sunday for another Twitch day. We'll be streaming for a bit, and I hope you guys join me because it's a whole lot of fun. Bye.